Hello, hello, happy hump day. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. I'm actually having a crappy day, but that has nothing to do with fasting. So, one thing I'm actually really thankful for as we're getting started is I feel like on crappy days, I have to find other things to cheer me up other than food. Like, yes, I will, I'm certain, find comfort in my eating window later, but it's not something that I can indulge in or find comfort in all day long, just built into the lifestyle of fasting. And I think that's been really good for me. I've talked to that idea in the past about like when my daughter's in recovery, I've always gained weight because it was a really stressful time and food was just easy to feel better instantly. But when it's all day, that can be problematic, obviously. And so now when I have shorter eating windows, yes, I might find comfort in food later, but my eating window is still going to be OMAD. It's still going to be pretty short, and it's not something that I can rely on, or I do rely on anymore to like find a better day. So there's been good in the day, but it's just not my favorite. And it started snowing again and the sun went away. So it's just like not my favorite day today. I do have hot coffee and I've actually been very productive, which is probably one way that I find comfort versus food is staying productive and feeling like I'm like achieving other things, even if I feel like disappointed or upset about others. I can get stuff done and that makes me feel good. So I guess that's a silver lining. I'm very excited. This weekend is our community fast, and that is something to look forward to. So if you are doing the fast, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give yourself grace and patience, especially if it's your first time. And I just find it to be much better to do longer fasts when you're in it together and you know that your friends around the internet are doing it with you. So, as a reminder, I always March, June, September, December, those are the quarterly fasts. I am doing 3 days. That's what I always do is 3 days. But you don't have to join and do the same thing as me. So I don't commit to a certain time to start it. I don't commit to a certain time to stop it. I was asked this question, I think on Instagram maybe, or maybe it was on a post, but when, like how I do my Sunday, will I still eat that day? So I'm going to have OMAD on Sunday. Whenever I close my eating window, it's going to be earlier because I have to leave enough time when when I open my eating window on Wednesday. I think I got a delivery. My dog is letting me know. But I'm going to eat OMAD on Sunday, probably in the 2 to 3-ish time frame, and then I will fast from that point. I don't do anything like preparatory. I make sure I have like a satisfying, delicious OMAD, and then I will fast until Wednesday. Just because that's how I do it doesn't mean that's how you have to join it. If you're new and 24 hours is what is a challenge for you, go ahead and do it that way. If you want to do a 2-day or you want to start yours on Tuesday and you go until Friday, like you can make it yours. It doesn't have to be the exact same to join the community fast. I just encourage you to take the time to think, do I want to challenge myself? Am I looking for something new? Is this maybe a way to break a plateau? So I'm excited to do it with you guys in whatever way you maybe join. And again, it's never pressure to try to get anyone to do something that they're not comfortable with, that they don't want to try. But for those that want to, it's fun to do it together. Now my dog has stopped barking. I hope she doesn't follow me upstairs because our stairwell, if you follow me on Instagram, is like torn apart and it's harder to keep her from coming upstairs. But I don't think she likes that the carpet's removed and the railing looks super janky. So she hasn't really tried to come up either. But I'm not there to see. Whoops. Let's see. Hi, Jennifer. I'm glad you're here. Happy fasting to you, too. Happy hump day, Debbie. Hi, Karen. Yes, I've been stressed, too. So, I'm right there with you. I have stresses going on. Nothing to do with YouTube, and I just realized I'm not wearing my wedding ring. Nothing to do with my marriage either. So I just, when I bake, I take it off a lot, and then I become self-conscious when I'm talking, and I'm like, oh, that probably looks like that's what I'm worried about. It's not. But yeah, the fast will be good for me, and I actually really mean that, which is funny that I love food so much, but having a 3-day fast I know is going to help me. Actually, this is something Hi, Dawn. Thank you for taking me on your errands. After this comment, though, one thing I forgot is this actually worked out really, really well, and I'm excited. I am in charge of a fundraiser at my kids' school, and I had proposed like one thing, and they turned it into a 3-day event. And I was like, oh, that's not necessarily what I had in mind. And then the 3-day event turned into a 2-day event. And thankfully, I have another mom that's helping me mostly on Monday. But I was so pleased that it fell right in the middle of my 3-day fast, because Tuesday I'm pretty much going to spend the entire day at my kids' school, and Monday I'm going to be there setting up for the fundraiser, and it's going to be a busy day because I still have my grocery shopping to do that day, and then go back and tear it down to get ready for the next day. Busyness is the best time to do fasting. It's literally my favorite. So when those dates were thrown out, I was like, sweet, that'll help me stay busy, because busy helps the longer fast. And I have cat hair all over my face, Dee Dee. She always does this when I sit in here. Hi, Janelle. I'm glad you're here. Woo! Janelle's doing the community fast. I don't know, Debbie. I was not pleased. We have a high of 40 something today, unless that was like the midnight temperature and it just kept going down. I don't really pay that close attention, but when I left today, I was not happy that it was snowing. The nice weather the past few days, I used to stop wearing my coat. I gave up. Thank you. I don't mean to come on here and be crabby, but sometimes when you go live, it's hard to fake it. And I thought, I'll just tell you guys I'm having a bad day. Karen finally got back to a down day. I'm thinking about 2 down up days a week. Feels so good. I'm doing 2 this week. I did one. Wait, why did I don't even remember why I did it Monday into Tuesday. Oh, I know. I wanted to film something, but I wanted a longer day to film yesterday. That's kind of silly, but I did a down day Monday, up day yesterday. It's not silly to me, but it probably sounds silly if you don't make videos. But I wanted to like test different foods, and so I had an up day yesterday. And then I'm having a down day tomorrow, because the breakfast that I was supposed to go with my mom and my grandparents on Friday, or excuse me, a couple weeks ago, got snowed out, and then we didn't do it last week because it was still snowy and icy, and I have a bit of a drive to get there. But this week, it's back on. I'm super excited to go have breakfast with my mom and my grandparents. There's literally nothing I'd rather do a down day to have that as an up day, so it's super motivating. And I know it's before the 3-day fast. Sorry, cat hair. But I like the variety, and I think it's really good for me. So like good for me mentally to have down days and up days. So I don't want to have just breakfast on Friday. I'm going to have an entire up day, have breakfast with them, and have dinner with my family Friday night. So tomorrow will be a down day, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. I feel really good. I enjoy the variety. And I can tell you, I will absolutely be enjoying breakfast, talking food and company on Friday. So I'm excited. So I have 2 down days and up days this week, which is very abnormal, followed by a 3-day fast. How many calories are in air? Absolutely 0, I would imagine. I have no idea. I don't know if you're being goofy, but I'd imagine 0. Yes, true does help a fast. 100%, and that's why I'm like, sweet. I didn't get to pick, well, I could have said no because I couldn't do it, but when they suggested those days, I was stoked. You forgot it was Wednesday, Mom. How dare you? Just kidding. That's the life of a retiree, right? I actually often forget what day it is. I have forgotten you guys multiple times. You guys know that. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a Wednesday. Mom will text me and be like, hey, are you getting on your live? So now I have, I think, 2 or 3 reminders, like 11:30 a.m. reminds me I have a live later. And then I get a 1 p.m. reminder, and then another reminder like 2 minutes before it starts, just in case. Let's see. Hi, Sanella. I don't know if I said it right, but welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and congrats on starting. Okay, so Karen ate for her first down day and did much better than a no-calorie down day. It's so funny to me. I don't find either of them to be better in terms of like making it easier or harder. It's just more like, do I have the opportunity to eat 500 calories that I like? Or is it easier for me to just not measure and to skip? So I like both of them, but there are so many people that find it easier to not eat and to not worry about counting. And there's so many people that find it easier to do the 500 calories. And I have not ever for myself personally, and I'm a one-person experiment. That's how everyone should treat themselves. Because we're individuals, of course. I've never seen that it makes a difference. So I don't think it's better to do a longer fast. I don't see better results or feel better the next day versus having the 500 calorie down day. I feel pretty much the same the next morning. And when I was actively losing weight, I kept seeing success regardless of what I did. Tomorrow, because I saw a soup at Aldi today, it was a Kevin's Thai coconut soup. It was less than 500 calories. It sounded really good today. And I was like, hey, I'll have that for my down day tomorrow. So I am having a 500 calorie down day. I'm sure I'll have one of these later in the day. So that's what I do, but I like to have the choice of not eating or the variety. Also, I mentioned this in an Aldi haul, but I don't know. I know a lot of you guys probably don't watch the Aldi videos. I just got my blood test back. I've been getting them annually since I started fasting, or I'd say more like 18 months. I tried to do it annually, but timing and scheduling. And I just got every single one that had to do with my blood was low for hemoglobin. Basically, I'm anemic. I had very low iron. I didn't have iron stores. And last year, like 1 or 2 were like borderline low. So I thought, oh my gosh, she's going to tell me to stop eating 1 meal a day, that I'm not getting enough nutrients. But so I saw my doctor yesterday. She in no way actually thinks it's diet related. She thinks it has to do with my menstrual cycle. So I'll be trying to figure that out. Because I have very, very, very heavy periods. Sorry to all you fellas out there. But if you hear me mentioning in any of my like down days or up days or videos about like looking at iron, that's why. Is all of my blood tests show I'm anemic now. And I have different testing to go through. So woohoo for that. But she was like, this isn't diet related. I mean, it could be technically, but she, based on like the whole picture of me, she does not think it's diet related. And like, not quick, because I haven't gotten it done in a year, but pretty quick decline in all the levels. Oh, yay! I'm glad I pronounced that. I feel so bad because I want to respect everyone's name and I give it my best effort, but I'm not like the best at sounding things out. So let's see. You are doing a 2 meal a day and non-snack in the 7 to 8 hour window. Yay! That is amazing if that works for you. I would also be very careful of enjoying your, like, I know I'm not saying like don't not snack, but for me, that would be hard to have an 8 hour eating window and like feel like I'm also fasting in the middle of it. Don't feel stuck to something because it was your original idea. Play around with time, play around with hours, let yourself be flexible in what you're learning works and doesn't work. And don't give up. Like when you learn to fast, you're going to be able to keep going and build on that fasting muscle and see what is perfect for you. So congrats on starting. It is. That's one thing I actually really like about the process of fasting and sharing with people. What works for me, and that's actually one reason I would never become a coach. I can test on myself all day long and see what works and share with you guys as like inspiration or a launching pad for you to think of for yourself. But I don't know enough about bodies and peoples and individuals to like give you insight on you. That's very overwhelming, but it is pretty interesting how we're all individuals. Okay, so the zero, see, this is probably another name. I don't know if that's a username or a name, but Shelley? The Zero app is no longer free. Is there another free fasting app you can recommend? No, I can't because I joined the Zero app and I never did another one because I didn't want to break my streak. So I don't know. I'm sorry. And I really hate that it's not free anymore. I've had people say that it is still free. I need to like see if I can try on one of my kids' phones or my husband's phone. I'm not gonna download it and mess up on my account. I don't want to lose my streaks or whatever. But someone said when you go to set up an account, it's going to have, like, something's going to pop up and try to make you pay. But if you close out of it, you can do it for free. Have I tried that? Have I seen that myself? No, but that's what someone told me on Instagram, that you can still get it for free. They just try very hard to get you to pay. But I've used Zero for almost 5 years now, and I just don't want to lose my streak. So my friend suggested it when she had brought up Fast Feast Repeat to me. I downloaded it that day, and I never have tried another one. So I'm sorry. Yay, thank you, Karen. Always an encourager. Yay, thank you, Cheryl Shirley. I don't know what NAFL is, but I am cheering for you if you do start. I hope that you give yourself, again, grace. Don't feel like you have to jump in and instantly be the best faster and have the cleanest eating windows and you exercise every day. Give yourself time to adjust. Make progress your only goal. So if progress means you fast 12 hours and you have a 12-hour eating window, that's okay for that to be your starting point. And then you can keep going from there. So I'm glad you like the videos. I'm glad you're here. And fasting can be a wonderful weight loss tool, but it has done so much more for me than just losing weight. But I totally understand coming to it for that. But I'm cheering for you. Go Cheryl Shirley. Let's see, I jumped into OMAD too soon, had to backtrack and doing 2 meals instead for now. Perfect. You're already being flexible. I love that. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead. Non-alcoholic fatty liver. I don't know why I didn't know that, because that's actually what I have. I've just never seen the NAFL. But yes, I have, when I was 24, I was diagnosed with the non-alcoholic fatty liver. And I remember it clear as day because I was 24. I have 2 kids at this point, and I got pregnant with my first when I was 21. And I never drank ever in college. And I barely drank before I had kids because I was barely legal and I'm a rule follower. So the nurse, when they diagnosed me with that, was like, "Are you sure you never have drank?" Like, she thought for sure that I was like a binge drinker based on my liver. I have not had an ultrasound. I do have to be clear about that to confirm that I don't have it. That's how it was originally found. However, all my blood tests, liver, everything is great. So my doctor said she considers me to not have non-alcoholic fatty liver anymore. She also has no reason for me to go get an ultrasound to confirm that I don't have it, if that makes sense. But it definitely helped me fasting, and that's all I did was fast. I didn't diet on top of it. I just fasted. Okay, so sorry, I had to back. Thank you, Karen, for that. I kind of feel like a fool having non-alcoholic fatty liver that I didn't know that. Do you ever do alternate day fasting? Eat dinner on Monday, don't eat Tuesday, and then eat on Wednesday, a 36-hour fast. If I did, I would eat more than just dinner on Wednesday. I would have like lunch and dinner. But yes, I definitely do down days, up days. I very much do it situationally. This is a little behind the scenes. I'm thinking of doing a down day every Monday because I want to start making more short form videos on my my grocery channel where I like try new products and I share different things. And if I have an update on Tuesday, I just have more time to try snacks and film them. And I actually really liked that yesterday because my kids are at school, my husband's at work. It's just so much easier for me to create content, not at dinner time. And I don't want to have dinner and try all these different things in a short period of time. So I'm considering having Mondays be like mealless or 500 calorie. For the most part though, like that aside, I do it very situationally where I will have a down day. Usually my fasts, if I have 36 are longer than 36 hours, it's maybe closer to 40, but it's not a requirement. But yes, I do those more if I want to, like if that Wednesday would have been something like going to breakfast with grandpa and grandma and my mom, it's situational when I'll have the down day the day before. But I absolutely do OMAD, down day, up day on a regular basis, just based on when I eat them. Yeah, I definitely have never paid for it. Easy Fast app. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one, but thank you for sharing that. I'll have to look into it because maybe I'll download it and just be able to share that with people. because I get comments. One of the most common comments I get is, what app do you use? What app is on your watch? And maybe I can see if it's also available on a watch to give people another option. I love using Zero, but I'm not, like tied to sharing anything else. I just don't want to break my own personal streak. Yay! Ashika, I am so glad that you'll be there. Woohoo! Debbie likes the easy fast as well. There's Kieran coming in with all of her knowledge. She's a smarty over there. Always love that about her. Kimberly, I'm on 72 fast. Today is my second day. What do you recommend when breaking your fast? So first of all, like, I got all of my recommendations from a video from Dr. Fung, and I do have a video like with what I do in relation to his video. I don't remember when it went out. I think maybe December of 2023. But I pretty much have fallen in love with one certain meal. I air fry steak. I do like it well done, but that's what I do. And avocado. That is what I'll be breaking my fast with. Anytime I'm like, oh, I should do something different for video's sake, I don't want to. I like that so much. It makes me feel really good. Other things that is suggested is like cooked vegetables. You don't want raw. You don't want something that's going to be hard to digest. I think chicken breast. I think fish. There are kimchi is good. There's a number of things that are suggested. You want to avoid things like nuts. Those are harder to break down. But Dr. Fung has a great video. 72 is at the like early side of a longer fast. A lot of people don't even consider that like extended fasting. So I just more pay attention starting at the 3-day to how I break my fast. But my rule is, well, not rule, my method is steak, avocado, and then I don't eat anything for about 2 more hours. And then I'll have like my normal meal and snack for the evening and just enjoy it. But that steak and avocado always tastes like heaven after a 3-day fast. And I had to go to Walmart. Oh, I just got a delivery notification, so it probably was who was on my doorstep. I hear the dog getting up again, so maybe they literally just delivered it. But I had to get Walmart or go to Walmart to get our cat food, so I already added my steak for next week. It's in the freezer. I'll thaw it and air fry it. It's just my favorite. Thank you so much for sharing that. You got it down as well. I know you knew that, Karen, but still, I'm like, sometimes things just make you feel like a fool. So I'm like, duh, hello, Jackie. And you know what? It honestly, when she said that, I was thinking instantly that she lived in Naples, Florida. I don't know why. And then I read the sentence. So I already saw FL as Florida. It's not my best day, guys. Nicole said, I've done OMAD before and lost weight quickly. Restarted 3 weeks ago, only down 1.1 pounds. So frustrating. Well, honestly, I followed the advice to not weigh myself at first, like really lean into learning to fast, getting back in the groove. Well, for you, back in the groove. For me, it was finding a groove and not like worrying about the weight right away. Like focus on learning to fast, feeling good. What makes you feel good when you open your eating window? How can you find satisfaction? How can you get what you want, but also what you need? Like focus on all of those things and make it an enjoyable lifestyle. And I would pretty much guarantee or believe that the weight loss will follow. But I know that's a lot easier to say now that I've already lost my weight. For me also, when I was losing weight, doing a down day and an up day, 2 days of the week, and then OMAD 5 was like my perfect mix. It may not be your perfect mix, but playing around, seeing if you're switching things up, if you are doing, and it sounds like you've done OMAD before, so I'm sure you're more familiar than like a true beginner, but if you're eating from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. every single day, switch it up. Maybe have breakfast one day and then your OMAD is dinner the next, or lunch and then dinner. And then you'll get a variety of fasting lengths. Allow yourself to have a variety of your OMAD eating windows. Sometimes my eating windows are 25 minutes long. And then sometimes, like last week, and I just shared this on my website, I had my dinner, I closed my eating window. Oh, I'm about to sneeze, sorry. Maybe not. I closed my eating window. I did a workout. We had a game. And my son asked me to fix him a brownie for his like snack at night. And I'd made the brownies like 2 days before, had no desire to eat the brownies. And then when I was heating his up, I'm like, oh man, this smells really good. And I hadn't had any dessert and it just sounded really good. And I was like, you know what? I'm still having dessert tonight. And my eating window ended up being 4.5 hours. Do I do that every day? No. Is having a brownie highly related to being on my period? Also, that's a yes. So there are so many situations. Bottom line, give yourself flexibility of different fasts, different eating windows. Even if you have OMAD every day, it doesn't have to look the same, and not looking the same gives you variety in your like mental space. It gives you variety in terms of enjoying different parts of the day. And then it also keeps your body from getting like, oh, we're used to this. We do this every day. Between 5 and 7, we get food. So we don't have to go to the fat stores and, get energy. We know when Nicole is about to feed us. So those are my tips. But don't be too hard on yourself. You still lost weight. Like some people start and they don't even lose any weight. So I'm cheering for you, Nicole. Joe asked, when I first started, how often did you weigh yourself? So when I first started, I very much followed Jen Stevens' Fast Feast Repeat guide, her suggestion of weighing yourself daily. And then I would take my weekly average. I actually made like an Excel spreadsheet or a Google sheet where every week I could plug it in and it gave me my weekly average. So you would compare your 7-day weekly average to the previous 7 days. You don't compare your weight day to day because you're going to see fluctuations. So that's what I did. I weighed myself every single day, compared my averages weekly, and that's what I did. And then when I started hitting a plateau about 5 months in, I wouldn't weigh myself super regularly because it was more frustrating. And then I finally realized, like, I'm wearing clothes I like. Maybe I didn't get to a number. I thought I would get to like 140. I don't know why. I'm 5'10". I haven't weighed 140 since like, well, I weighed quite a bit lower at my wedding. I got really thin. It was like a stressful time. I was graduating college and buying a house and getting married. And I was 20, so a lot younger. Anyways, I was 127 when I got married. So I thought, oh, 140 should be easy. I got to 150 yesterday at the doctor's, fully clothed. I weighed 152.6, I think. And I very happily remained at that 150-ish time. Or not time, weight. I don't weigh myself anymore because I had to realize, what is weighing giving you? Nothing. My weight was very happy there. I didn't want to diet on top of fasting. I didn't really care. It's just because I thought I'd get to 140 for some reason. And I'm like, okay, I am not considered overweight. I've had all these health benefits. I don't diet anymore. I don't have the weight of can't I? I had to remind myself like that wasn't that important. So then I stopped weighing myself. I don't have like an opposition to the scale. It just doesn't ever make me happy, I guess. So I'm like, what's the point? I'm pretty happy with the current state of things. So I'll remain just happily not knowing exactly what I weigh. Hi, Pizza. I love you, Pizza. Yay, Elaine, I'm glad to see you sharing some encouragement to Nicole. Just because it's starting slower than you want doesn't mean it's not going to come. Hey, Poppy. I'm doing 18-6 intermittent fasting. I've lost 4 kilograms in a month. Woohoo! Go you! How much more should I expect in a few months? I have absolutely no way of telling you that. 1, I think in pounds. 2, I don't know how much you have to lose. I don't know if you have like 1 kilogram extra or if you have 20 kilograms extra to lose. And that's pretty much impossible to guess. So I very much have no way of knowing, but it sounds like you're doing something that's effective for you. So I am going to just encourage you to keep going. Okay, Debbie says the only way she loses weight is not eating at dinner. Eating before noon. That's really interesting. And that goes right back to the way of you have found out what works for you. That's one thing that I am not good at, is knowing like individuals, getting to ask the right questions, but it is the perfect example of testing to see what works for you on an individual basis. Hello, Anthony in the UK. Kirby says, how do you avoid overeating when breakfast fast at beginning? So many yummy, when breaking fast. I have breakfast on my mind at the beginning. So many yummy food snacks. I'm going to be honest, Kirby, I overate at the beginning. I have shared this very specific example many times. I remember breaking my fast and eating Oreos. Guess who does not like Oreos? Me. But guess what? They were there. And I remember just like the idea of me feeling like a vacuum when I opened my eating windows. And then guess what else happened? I'd have this dinner that I was looking forward to. Say, like last night, I made grilled cheese and tomato soup. Loved it. It was a fabulous dinner. One of my favorites. If I overate and I ate junk and snacks and then I was super full, guess who wouldn't actually get to enjoy her dinner? Also me. So when I overate and then I would eventually not feel good, or I would like be embarrassed that I ate Oreos, I still am like, what was I thinking? I don't even like Oreos. Why did I eat those? I don't know, because they were there. My behavior morphed over time. I would learn what made me not feel good, what I didn't enjoy, what kept me from actually enjoying my eating window. And the same thing goes, like, I learned that opening my eating window with sugar just doesn't make me have a good eating window. I don't feel as good. So guess what I don't do anymore? I don't open my eating window with sugar anymore. That includes like an iced coffee with sugar in it isn't what I'm going to have first. But all of those behaviors aren't because someone gave me a rule. They're not because I was committed to being perfect right from the beginning. It's because I did it imperfectly. And I am like, that's not what I want. I want to enjoy the delicious dinner that I have planned. I know that my eating window can't open by overeating snacks. The snacks will be there after dinner if I still want a little bit. And then at that point, I'm pretty satisfied from dinner. And if I choose to have a snack, I am not hungry or desiring, like massive amounts of it. I really, really do think that your habits change, especially when you give yourself grace to learn and you tell yourself like, hey, I didn't fail if I overate today. I learned something. I learned what behavior I don't want to repeat tomorrow. Encourage yourself. Talk to yourself kindly. Like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I love eating. I don't even know. I can't even think of a snack like that I'd open my eating window with, because I don't. I love eating blah, 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 but I know I'm not going to enjoy dinner if I do it. So I will wait and have that after dinner if I still want it. And then at that point, you probably have enjoyed a meal and don't have as much room or desire to overeat whatever said snack was. But another big thing for me is I don't have restrictions, and that really helps, because when I don't feel restricted, I don't feel like I'm never going to do this again. I better eat it all now and it'll never happen again. Yeah, right now I want to be in a normal BMI range. I am short, so I hope to reach 60 kilograms. Well, I'm cheering for you. You can do it. Woohoo! Do I have tips, Jules, for dealing with sour stomach? Sugar-free gums, mints, anything like that you can suggest. Thanks. Love your channel. I don't know what sour stomach is. Is that like, I hope this isn't gross, but where you feel like you're going to have diarrhea? That's all I can think of. And I pretty much have one remedy for that. Go to the bathroom. So I don't really do anything to deal with a stomach ache. I guess I also am thinking like if I'm actually sick, I do have like a kind of a sour feeling if I think of drinking coffee when I'm not feeling well. Like if it's not a head cold, but I'm actually like nauseous, I think of coffee and then my stomach feels like acid. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to drink coffee. So then I kind of avoid whatever makes me feel like that, but I don't have that feeling to avoid, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure. I don't know if other people, I really prefer a clean fast. I do have flavored electrolytes. You guys know that. I don't do diet pops for the most part. I mean, maybe on a road trip I'll have one if I'm fasting, but it makes it much harder for me to fast. Gum, mints, I do avoid while I'm fasting unless it's like a safe, or like trying to save someone from smelling my awful keto breath. That is one thing that I've just had to come to. I'd rather save a relationship or my experience talking to someone than have a perfect fast. But it doesn't have anything to do with like helping my stomach feel better. Pizza says, I'm thinking about starting to do long fasts. I often do OMAD. I've done a few 72-hour fasts. I'm thinking about doing it every week. Should I do 36 hours twice a week or 72 hours single fast in a week? Honestly, I would just see what works better for you. I don't know anything about your work schedule, your home life. For me personally, I would rather do a 72-hour fast once a week, have one up day, and then OMAD the rest of the week. I don't know how that plays in for you. To me, that sounds more pleasant. For you, if you find it more pleasant to not eat for 2 days and then have 2 up days, that might be something that you like. Like if you have, the opportunity to go to lunch with coworkers frequently, having 2 up days for me would be like, hey, I'd rather go to lunch with coworkers and have dinner with my family twice a week and then skip eating 2 other days. But I would really consider both of like priority in your lifestyle and then play around with both of them. If both of them sound appealing to you and you have pros and cons of both, try it one way for 2 weeks and try one way for 2 weeks. And if you honestly find that you like both of them, just let yourself switch it up week to week. Like, hey, me personally, let's see, I have that fundraiser going on. A 3-day fast for this week works great. But then the following week, we have lots of work events. I'm going to do the 2 36-hour fasts. You can, if both of them work well for your life and both of them are enjoyable, then you have 2 different tools that you can use whenever you want them. As far as effective, I think they'd both be effective, to be honest. Yes, metabolically flexible is a great spot to find yourself. You have to work there as a faster. You're not going to like tell yourself I'm fasting and then your body knows to go get fat for fuel. But definitely something you want to work for. You're welcome, Nicole. You're 40 now, so something to do with loss being slower. I have had people tell me that it's different. It's harder with perimenopause or menopause. I have no idea if you're there. But even just getting older, I 100% believe that. I could think of losing weight when I was 20 and work out and not care about what I was eating, and I would drop weight anytime I wanted. So I 100% believe that the older you get, things change. I lost more weight eating before 3 p.m. That could be the same as I think Debbie said earlier, that she likes to stop eating by noon and finds more success. I think that's really interesting. I've never actually tried having an eating window regularly earlier. I just like having it later to look forward to and eating with my family. So that kind of stuff is important too. Do you love venti or low sodium meal? I don't know what venti is. I think of a size of coffee. Low sodium meals, I don't honestly track sodium levels. I wish I had an answer for you, but I'm pretty, I don't want to say loose, but I don't really track much. So I don't have a low sodium meal to suggest for you, at least not offhand. And then I also drink my electrolytes regularly, which is not low sodium. So I'm probably not the good person to ask about that. Yes, keto breath. Ugh. Wait, is that about... Okay, so yes, when you were talking about the sour stomach, I deal with it for myself. I can literally taste it in my mouth right now. Some people say it goes away, the taste. For me, it's been enduring. I still taste it. I still can tell when I'm in ketosis from it. I will deal with it. I don't really chew or do anything different at home. I drink coffee all day, every day, so I feel like my breath is predominantly coffee breath. However, if I'm going and sitting with my kids' principal for a meeting about the fundraiser, absolutely I will have gum in my mouth. Or I love the Listerine breath strips. I will put a peppermint drop on my tongue. It is so much more important to me to not feel humiliated and to let that be my overriding thought. I do not strive for perfection. I'm glad we're on the same page. And yeah, I remember once my brother humbled me and just let me know that my breath was as bad as it tasted. He was like, "What in the world?" I love my brother, but it was embarrassing. And I'm like, only a brother would tell you that. No one else would tell you. They'd just be thinking about it for the next 6 years. So I got to put an end to it. Okay, Karen loves an early eating window. I actually think someday when I'm an empty nester and Matt and I are free to kind of do what we want, I could see having more of an early eating window more regularly. But for now, I keep it as my carrot to look forward to later in the day. Karen said it's so much less grueling than fasting through the whole day and waiting to get to dinner. See, I actually find that enjoyable. And again, this is the power of treating yourself as an individual. I just saw that I'm way over on time. But guess what, guys? So no more comments. I see I only have this one and one more, I think, hopefully. But I'm going to have to go because I try to do this half an hour. But I actually find it so motivating knowing my eating windows later. So I'm like, I'm busy. I can work all day. I have the dog. I have errands to do, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, if I feel hungry, I'm like, I still have this to look forward to. I find that super exciting. It's not grueling to me, but Karen, you're a longtime faster. You have many fasts under your belt. You know what works for you. And I just think it's exciting that fasting is a tool that can be applied to so many schedules, people, preferences. You just got to find what works for you. And that is exciting to me, but it can be kind of frustrating because I can't just say what's perfect. I'm not saying frustrating to you, Karen. I'm just saying like frustrating to people in general. Like people say, I try OMAD, but I can't eat that much. Well, OMAD's probably not for you. I can eat a lot in a sitting, and I actually really enjoy that. That's one thing I like about OMAD is I don't feel guilty about it. But if you don't like to eat a lot and you don't feel like you get enough in a single sitting, it's probably not the one for you. For me, if I open an eating window and I had a 6-hour eating window every day, I'd eat large volumes for 6 hours. If that's not your eating pattern, a longer eating window is probably more your tool. So we all have to find what works for us. So now I wish I could do 72-hour fast. The longest I did was 30. Here's the cool thing. One, that's amazing. Ask yourself before fasting, can you not eat for 30 hours? You'd probably laugh at yourself. I would have laughed at myself. I'd be like, no, I don't want to go for 3 hours. 30 hours, celebrate that. Let yourself be proud of that. And you can continue to build on it. When you say, I wish I could do 72, how can you make that a reality without it being like a punitive thing? Not like, oh, I gotta do this, I must get there. But like, hey, I've done 30. I've been successful. I know I can do that. I'm going to try 32 hours. And then when you're successful at that, you're like, hey, I'm going to make it a full 36 hours. You add on a few more hours. And eventually, you can make those leaps however you want, but you can build up to it if you want. And some people don't like longer fasts. Like if that is not your jam, it doesn't have to be. I actually find them to be enjoyable, which is very weird because I also love to eat. But 3 is my max. 3 is my max to find it enjoyable. I mean, is it possible to get Elements in Germany soon? Do you have any information? I do not. I did read on Elements website. It said if they are starting to test different markets in Europe, you can contact them and they will let you know of a wholesale distributor that they're starting to work with. I don't remember where I saw that, but I saw that on their website recently. So if I were you, maybe frequently asked questions. They're like testing different markets. So maybe there's one in Germany by you. Yay. Mindset is so important with fasting. I hope you have a great day too, Mom. Yes. I feel like it is the lifestyle I need because I don't want to give up my foodie identity. And that probably sounds silly, but I'm not saying that because it's like something I'm like holding on to that would be easy to give up. It's very natural for me to love food and celebrating it. And I'm excited when I see new Easter this or carrot cake things are out, or this week is downtown Kalamazoo restaurant week. So every restaurant has different offerings. My sister and I are going to go to a restaurant and try things. Like that is exciting to me. And I'm not doing that just to have that as a hobby. It's always been that way. And fasting allows me to feel confident in me, but also enjoy that stuff. And I love the balance. Yay! I hope you have a wonderful day too. Thank you so much everyone for joining, and I'll see you live next week and all the videos in between. Take care. Thanks for being here.